Always look for the fool in the deal. If you don't find one, it's you. The beauty of success, whether it's finding the girl of your dreams, the right job or financial success, is that it doesn't matter how many times you have failed, you only have to be right once. To me, business is a sport. I love knowing that 24/7/365s forever I'm competing with people I don't know. To build my businesses. To come up with new ideas. To come up with better ideas. That motivates me. As I would learn later in life, money makes you extremely handsome. One problem people have is that they lie to themselves. You may think you are more talented than the next guy. Which is exactly what the next guy thinks as well. Rarely is talent enough. You have to find ways to make yourself stand out. You do so by playing to your strengths and making people aware of those strengths. Always remember that no matter how many times you get shot down, you will get smarter, better, and you only have to be right once to be successful. My first company was Micro Solutions. I worked 20 hours a day. I didn't take a vacation for 7 years. I didn't even take the time to read a fiction book. It was all about work. When I sold it, I promised myself I would never wear a watch and only wear a suit to weddings, funerals, and to meet the president. In every job, I would justify it in my mind, whether I loved it or hated it, that I was getting paid to learn, and every experience would be of value when I figured out what I wanted to do when I grew up. It's always the little decisions that have the biggest impact. Ideas are easy. I've never met a single person who didn't think they had a world-class idea. The hard part is making it a business. Every kid thinks they have something special about themselves. Every adult thinks they have a big idea at some point in their life. Rather than pursue everything they possibly can to prepare themselves to enable their idea or special talent, they tend to wing it and make excuses. I'm always afraid of failing. It's great motivation to work harder. If given a choice between investing in someone who has read Rework or has an MBA, I'm investing in Rework every time. A must-read for every entrepreneur. Business is the ultimate sport. In business, as in sport, the one thing you can control is effort. Video for the internet has become a testing ground for mediums that actually have revenue. Most people think money is the key to reducing risk. Preparation is. If I own stock in your company and you move offshore for tax reasons, I'm selling your stock. There are enough investment choices here. Know your stuff. Have an angle. Know how to grow business, how to develop products, have patents, and an undeveloped market that could be huge. Having the ability to be brutally honest with yourself is the greatest challenge you face when creating a business model. Too often we oversell ourselves on the quality of the idea, service, or product. We don't provide an honest assessment of how we fit in the market, why customers will buy from us, and at what price. When you first start working for me, directly for me, I micromanage until I trust you. I think college is an absolute. In this world you have to learn how to learn and get in the habit of always wanting to learn. Some kids have that out of high school and may be able to do the college equivalent of homeschooling. Most kids can't. So I highly recommend going to college. Even when I had nothing, I had everything. Because I love to compete. Business happens over years and years. Value is measured in the total upside of a business relationship, not by how much you squeezed out in any one deal. I think the NFL is 10 years away from an implosion. When you post something, when you text something, you lose ownership of it when you hit enter or send. Who you send it to, where you post it, they take ownership of that information whether you like it or not. Can't say no one makes money from Twitter now. The NBA does. The higher education industry is very analogous to the newspaper industry. By the time they realize they need to change the costs to support their legacy infrastructure, and costs will keep them from getting there. If you're looking where everybody else is looking, you're looking in the wrong spot. It is called working your ass off. The difference is what you are willing to sacrifice. For every writer who wants balance in their life, there is a guy like me who gives up a lot to make their dreams come true. There is always going to be someone out there that knows they have to compensate for maybe having less talent with harder work and preparation. Once you are prepared and you think you have every angle of preparation covered, you have to go for it. Sweat equity is the most valuable equity there is. If you are active online or texting, there is a good chance I could look at what you do and know more about you than your family. With every effort, I learned a lot. With every mistake and failure, not only mine, but of those around me, I learned what not to do. I also got to study the success of those I did business with as well. I had more than a healthy dose of fear, and an unlimited amount of hope, and more importantly, no limit on time and effort. If you've got $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, you're better off paying off any debt you have because that's a guaranteed return. If I see a black kid in a hoodie and it's late at night, I'm walking to the other side of the street. And if on that side of the street, there's a guy that has tattoos all over his face, white guy, bald head, tattoos everywhere, I'm walking back to the other side of the street, and the list goes on of stereotypes that we all live up to and are fearful of. I do everything via email, which in turn works as my tickler file and prioritization queue. I start at the top every morning and keep on going until I'm finished. I don't do calls. I don't do meetings. We don't sell wins or losses. The one thing you can't control in sports is which games you are going to win or which games you are going to lose. But what I could control was the experience the fans have. Find something you love to do. If you don't make money at it, at least you love going to work. I love to compete. I want to get out there and kick your ass in the business world. That is what inspires me. I'd rather be tired than broke. I hate politics. It's slimy. Any job where people pander for votes I don't like. The country has gotten so partisan that if you're not on my side, you're the enemy. Sweat equity is the best startup capital. Most people think it's all about the idea. It's not. Everyone has ideas. The hard part is doing the homework to know if the idea could work in an industry, then doing the preparation to be able to execute on the idea. It comes down to finding something you love to do and then just trying to be great at it. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how many times you almost get it right. No one is going to know or care about your failures, and neither should you. All you have to do is learn from them and those around you. All that matters in business is that you get it right once. Then everyone can tell you how lucky you are.